6 minutes after 9 o'clock. It's Tuesday, and nice looking Tuesday, although a little bit cool out there. And as she does every Tuesday, brightens our studio by bringing us some talk about gardens and lawns. And Caroline Baldwin has been doing this for so long and doesn't get paid for it. It's a voluntary thing. I'm telling you, you need to be in the Agricultural Hall of Fame. Caroline is here for the whole hour. If you have a question about your lawn, your garden, anything, fertilizer, mature manure, anything.
Anything you got? Yeah, mature manure or black cow.
The phone number is 622-9622. You can call at any time during this hour. Good morning, Caroline.
Good morning, Larry. That's right, and your calls help make the show.
They do.
So, I don't read minds. That's the one thing I don't do. I don't read minds. I'll talk to you about gardens, lawns, bugs, fertilizer, you name it on that. But I don't know what you want to hear about unless you tell me. Honestly, I know what I see trending. I see what I trending about, but the callers can help keep the show going.
Okay, you and I have known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
But we've never, we don't hang out together.
No.
Which is the case with 90% or more than 90% of the people I know.
Right.
And this is my whole social life right here.
There he is right here in the studio. Come wave at Larry.
Okay, but you know me.
Right.
So do you ever, somebody who you know, do you ever feel like, okay, you say you can't read minds, but do you, with you and your husband, do you sometimes say, you know what he's thinking?
Oh, well,
and
sometimes that, or I have a tendency, or I used to have a best friend who, the reason I don't have her now, she unfortunately passed away, but that we'd get talking or whatever, and we would never finish sentences. But we knew what each other meant.
So you can read minds.
That it would stop, and the conversation would keep going, and then she had to move. She had gotten ill, had to move somewhere where she had some assistance. And when she was gone, my daughter kept going crazy because she's like, "Mom, you have to finish your sentences." Because I'm not quite on that wavelength.
Isn't that interesting?
That we had not had the
it's
more
like speaking,
adult.
for somebody listening in, it was like listening to two people speak another language.
Right.
Oh,
right.
wow.
Or something like that. But, yeah, I mean, we all have those little quirks, where you can... My daughter would call me from UF, on campus when she was a student, and go, "Mom, where would I have put my vanilla?" And I would tell her, and her roommate would go, "God, how does your mom do that?"
Where would I have put my vanilla?
She was going to make breakfast, was going to make herself some French toast, and couldn't find the vanilla.
Oh, wow. Sounds like she makes it better than I do. She adds vanilla to it?
Yeah, you add vanilla and then some cinnamon.
Hey, can I ask you about something you posted?
What's that?
You posted something really cool about how a plant creates some kind of a stink or something to get rid of or to kill... Oh, what is it? What was it? So the wasp will lay eggs inside the caterpillars?
Oh, inside the caterpillars.
Explain that.
Well, the parasitic wasps is one of those things that, we talk about good bugs and bad bugs.
Right.
And, some of your caterpillars do grow up to be butterflies, which we all love the butterflies. But they can be, and the other ones, moths are beneficial too, even though we're not quite so attached to those. We don't see the moths as much. They're at night, or we associate them with eating clothing in closets or our plants in the garden. And so butterfly, the caterpillars aren't necessarily a bad bug, but the wasps or some of the wasps are parasitic, where they won't kill the host outright, but they go and they lay eggs in the caterpillar, the host.
Okay.
And then as those eggs develop and hatch, they do consume.
They eat the caterpillar.
They eat the caterpillar, which is
But wasn't
gross,
there something about
really
that story
cool.
that the plant itself?
The plant itself, sometimes plants will release a pheromone type thing that will actually tell the wasps that they're having, that there's an issue.
Yeah. And so then they come, wow.
Yeah, plants do communicate. Plants are smart creatures.
Who says there's no intelligent design?
That's right. I mean, there's parasitic plants also. I think it's the dodder vine that was, happened to see a show, this months ago, maybe a year ago, on the dodder vine and how
What's the dodder vine? What's
dodder,
that?
Dodder. And it's a parasitic vine.
Okay.
And it will actually search a host. I know nobody, except if you're watching online, can see my fingers spinning around. It will actually put a tendril out reaching, and it will turn till it can find the proper plant to grab a hold of and then begin to climb up it. And it will...
A lot of vines do that, though.
Yeah, but they don't necessarily search for
Seems like
a
the vines
climbing
in my
tendril.
house.
Those are just
My yard.
Yeah.
I don't have vines in my house.
You may have daughter vine also their daughter weed, but it's that they found that there's certain plants that this vine likes more than others, and that they will reach further. They did it with like a tomato plant, and I think it was tomato plant, and they seem to really
morning,
like
Patsy.
tomato plants. But yeah, plants are smart. I mean, and that what was it? There was some other post saying that plants know that when you're eating them. Of course, I don't think they know
That
you
would make.
harvest.
What are you going to eat?
Yeah.
If you okay, so we can't eat meat now. We can't eat plants.
Yeah.
By the way, 38 degrees right now.
Burr. That's all I have to
38
say.
degrees.
38 degrees, yes. It's the second day of spring.
But did it feel cold to you this morning?
Very.
Did it really?
Oh, I was yes. You see, I have two long sleeve shirt, a short sleeve shirt, and a thermal.
But don't you think
sweatshirt.
38 degrees, if we had felt it in, let's say, September, would have felt colder than it does now because we've already had some cold temperatures?
Actually, it's just about what it would feel like to me because I spend so much time outside. My body was already acclimating to the warmer temperatures,
Oh, okay.
and so that sudden drop yesterday and today have been very cold.
And you do have a phone call.
Great.
Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I'm enjoying this last little cool spell because I got a feeling we're going to be air conditioning pretty soon.
Just
Yeah,
open the
yeah.
windows.
We have a new neighbor in our subdivision, just built a brand new home, and I got to introduce myself to him last week. And naturally, he's got no grass or nothing; it's all just dirt there. And we were talking about grass and this and that, and he didn't know whether he wanted to go into seed or to sod. And if he would go sod, he was thinking about St. Augustine. Mm-hmm. And we all know that St. Augustine needs a lot of water in that. But is there any benefit to go with St. Augustine over Bahia? Is it a better grass? It looks better if it's healthy. I mean, it's nice and thick, but I don't know if it's worth all the trouble or not.
Well, and that's it. It's more of a matter of preference of the aesthetics. It does take a lot more work in order to keep the lawn a nice dense lawn. But with any of your lawns, the proper watering, the proper fertilization, proper mowing height, and things like that are going to give you a healthy lawn. If you're going to put in St. Augustine, you really need to put in an irrigation system. If you have Bahia, it will do okay, though it may get some drought time dormancy if you're not watering, where it'll just slow down. It might even brown out a little bit, but as soon as we start with spring rains, it's back up green and growing again. Where St. Augustine, if you don't do a regular watering on those that they have a little bit of a struggle, or that's when issues start to come in. But really, they don't. St. Augustine grass, and I've talked to a lot of different people, it needs proper watering. It doesn't necessarily need more water. It needs to be done thoroughly on that regular basis, that 3/4 of an inch, at least once a week.
Would a person have success with seed with St. Augustine, or should you better off, if you can afford it, go to the roll?
You're not going to get seed for St. Augustine. There's no such thing.
We have to.
Oh, okay.
We're going to have to go to commercial here.
We'll be right back. You can hang on the line if you want to. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Mostly sunny today with a warmer afternoon, a high of 70 to 75. Clear tonight, a low 46 to 58, and tomorrow looks gorgeous, bright and sunny with a high of 77 to 81. Shower thunderstorm in the area Thursday. Most cities partly sunny and nice, high of 82 to 86. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Hi, this is Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin, the host of In the Garden with Carol Ann. Let me tell you what I use to get away from fertilizing the old-fashioned way. I use Dynamite Premium Plant Food for my flowers and veggies. With its easy, earth-friendly patented coating, there's no risk of over-fertilizing. Dynamite Premium Plant Food releases food for 6 months, so there are no highs or lows during the growing season. Dynamite Premium Plant Food contains nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and micronutrients like copper, magnesium, iron, and zinc. This gives my plants explosions of bloom for both flowers and veggies. When I use Dynamite Premium Plant Food, I only have to use it once every 6 months and not worry about the nutrients washing out with heavy rains or irrigation. To learn more about the Dynamite family of products, go to dynamiteplantfood.com. Dynamite Premium Plant Food is so easy to use that you'll spend less time working in your garden and more time enjoying it.
PPIR is a networking group formed to serve the realtor and small business community. It primarily serves the real estate and construction industry, but is open to all businesses that provide any service or product to the real estate business community. PPIR has no membership dues or fees for attendees. The watchwords are keep it simple and maximize networking time. PPIR chapters generally meet once a month after business hours. For the information on this, call 352-615-9412 or go to events@ppirevents.com. PPIR, professional people in real estate.
Black cow, the mature manure black cow.
We often mention enriching your native soil with Black Cow when you prepare a flower bed or vegetable garden, or plant new shrubs and trees. Adding Black Cow helps retain moisture and adds millions of healthy microbes to your soil. Healthy soil means healthy plants, but you can also top dress with Black Cow composted cow manure even after planting. You can come back a month or two later and spread Black Cow on top of the soil around the root zone of a shrub or tree, or spread it evenly over a flower bed or rows of vegetables in your garden. Black Cow releases nutrients slowly. It won't burn tender roots because it's fully composted. Look for the bright yellow and black bag at your favorite nursery or garden center. And visit the website too at blackcow.com.
Black cow, the mature manure black cow.
All right, sorry. 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, Caroline Baldwin is here. Caroline, I believe you hung on during the break, so let's go back to Hugh. And sorry we had to cut your question and answer in half there, Hugh, but you're back on the air.
Well, yeah, no problem, and thanks for letting me hang on.
Yeah.
See, the question is, now why can't you get seed for
St. Augustine? St. Augustine, at least here in Florida, I don't know in other parts of the country that grow St. Augustine. Here they're all hybrids. And so they're vegetatively propagated. There are no, if you ever notice, you don't see a seed head even when the grass starts growing taller. And what seed is there is sterile. It's just not it's not one, not like your Bahia that has seed that if you can let it ripen, even though most of the time we can't because we can't stand to see all that, you might actually be able to put some of that seed back in, even though both of the Bahias we have are also a hybrid usually on those just for better growth habit. But with your St. Augustine, it's all vegetatively grown.
So would St. Augustine probably be more expensive than in the sod form?
As compared to Bahia and Assad or any of the rest of them, no, it probably is not any more expensive. Or at least not by much.
Once you got it laid, it's other than watching the water situation, it's pretty much the same thing, fertilizing and everything else, right?
You're fertilizing, you're doing if you need to do weed control. The only thing is with St. Augustine is it does have its susceptibility to chinch bugs. But every lawn, every turf out there has an insect problem or an insect that can become a problem. And again, we can help to minimize those issues by cultural practices, by the proper mowing height, proper fertilization, meaning not over fertilizing, proper watering practices. What your neighbor might want to do is to go on the Solutions for Your Life website or just stop over at the extension office, but you can read about the different turfs and the pros and cons of each one, and that way he can make an educated decision on what he might want to do. Because again, if you're going to do a St. Augustine lawn, you're usually better off putting in some kind of irrigation system. Right. If you're one who's looking to keep the water usage down, fertilization use down, and things like that, he might think of a Bahia lawn or even a centipede lawn. Centipede doesn't like a lot of fertilizer, but it's a lawn that is not one of the top lawns that most people are looking at for for their yard. But I would have him go to the Solutions for Your Life. That's the University of Florida's website, and just type in each of the grasses. It'll bring up a couple of different options, generally, a PDF file if he wants to read it. And when he makes his selection, he can even download that file and have it as recommendations on how to water and things like that. And some of the different grasses, like they may list several different varieties of St. Augustine. In your big box store, you're usually either going to find the Floritam or maybe the Palmetto. Now, the Floritam's an old variety of St. Augustine, but it does not have a whole lot of chinch bugs resistance, and it's also one of the ones that's most susceptible to herbicides that would be applied to lawns. But there's some other varieties out there that if he went to a sod farm, he might be able to find different varieties that might be a little more appealing to him.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, thank you. I'll pass it on to him, and thank you very much for your information.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Hey, bye now.
Bye-bye. Yeah, when you're doing that, it is a good thing to ask those kind of questions. If you're looking to redo, and it might even be the thought of going, well, we want some grass in the front, but I really want planting beds. So before you start thinking about just sodding the whole thing and then coming back through and cutting out part of it, is plan out some plantings, your landscape areas, and then think about, what, maybe the lawn isn't as important, and I will go with a less expensive, or easier maintenance, like say the Bahia lawn, where it's just I just need grass to hold my dirt down, keep it green. I need something to mow. I need something to be able to entertain that the kids are going to be out there. You don't want it just to be dirt out there. So look at your planting beds before you just sort of just throw grass down and think about what you're going to do with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One way to.
What was the article that was in your box? It had some with crepe myrtles?
With the crepe myrtles, yeah. Crepe myrtles are, one of those plants. It seems to be
It's a big plant in Ocala, isn't it?
It's a big staple plant.
It seems like it's everywhere
County.
here.
Yeah, it is. We've used it because it is fairly low maintenance. And this article happened to be from Tom McCubbin, who's
You know him?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
A extension director emeritus out of UF down in Orange County, and he's got several books out there. He also does a garden show, but down there at Orange County.
Okay.
And he had an article here that says, let's give crepe myrtles a break this year, and he's talking about the practice of what we have affectionately call crepe murder, is just taking the chainsaw and go
get rid of it,
cut it all off, haul it all away, and let it sprout out and grow, because the crepe myrtle bloom on this year's wood. So those tips, that's why they do it. It's easy, it's quick cleanup, but it can shorten the life of the tree. There are other ways of pruning them. One, plant the crepe myrtle, the proper crepe myrtle, in the proper place. There are some that are little tiny dwarfs that you could put in a container or as almost a ground cover at 18 inches. They can be near the house. Then there's some that are, say, a large shrub where you're talking only about 8 to 10 feet tall, which I know most people think shrub at 8 to 10 feet. Yeah, I know. It's small tree, large shrub. But then there's other crepe myrtles that are 20 feet or larger.
Yeah.
And those don't belong up near the house if you don't want it that big near the house. So find out which one you're getting before you buy it. Read up on them, find out which ones you're getting. And then you don't have to do that. Because some of it, the city and the road department, it's just easier to go cut them all back. They're all taken care of.
Right.
And like he's saying in his article, remove, if you're trying to keep a single trunk, keep those sprouts off the trunk, off the ground as they begin to grow. But if you haven't pruned yours now by the 15th of about February, don't. Just leave it alone.
Caroline, you have a phone call. Let's take that call. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Hi, good morning. This is Steve calling in.
Good morning.
Carol Ann, I had a question. I put in a hedge of podocarpus plants a few months ago, and they're all doing well, except one of them has 3 of the branches that come out from the base.
Okay.
They're completely brown, the whole branch and all the little leaves on them. The rest of the branches on the podocarpus, all looked great.
Okay.
It was just those 3 branches.
Oh, and so, of course, and it is actually dead. If you bend those, it's going to snap. Have you tried?
I haven't tried that. By the color, they looked dead. I'm just going to cut them out, but I was just wondering if it could be a fungal disease or what could be causing just the branches on the one to do that.
On the one
and most of the branches on it look great. Like I say, it's only 3 of them that look like completely dead.
Right. And it could be that when they were getting established, because you say you put them in a few months back and you're watering them frequently at that point,
Right.
it might be that underneath that one, either that one maybe wasn't quite getting as much water, even though we think we're getting it all the same. There could have been an air pocket where there was a little, that those roots underneath there might not, may have gotten a little bit of exposure. You might even get up underneath there and make sure that dirt hasn't sunk down in, and just take a look there. It sounds more like something like that it may have gotten either not quite as much water as the other ones, or as I say, every plant is unique. And so that plant may just not have been quite as strong when it was initially put in. But I would check the ends of it first, snip them back. If it's not completely dead, if the branch is still green inside, I just snip it off a little bit, or you could cut it all the way off. But I would hope to see some new growth come off of there if it's not dead. If it's dead, take it right back to the trunk.
I read about something on the internet about fire blight, but they said it blackens the leaves, not turns them brown like that. So I don't think it's that. So.
Right. Yeah. When it's just and when the leaves actually hang on, if the leaves are hanging on, that does usually indicate something on a root issue. Fire blight a lot of times comes from over fertilization.
Huh.
That it can because it just is over-fertilization is a stress on plants just as much as lack of fertilizer can be. So,
okay, well, thanks for your help. Then.
You're welcome.
I'll go ahead and check down if those branches are still alive, and sounds like it's not too serious a problem. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, bye-bye. And on something like that, if you've got one in that line, and that's always the worst thing, is that you find this one, and it's usually not just the one on the end, or they've grown for a few years and you lose one, and then try to replace that one is always fun because they're never going to be the same size. But when you've planted them and it's been a few months and you've got one that's not quite doing, take a look up underneath there, make sure it didn't get, something hasn't unearthed it even. It could be a critter has gotten up underneath there and dug something out that is now allowing some of those roots to be exposed to the air, or anything like that. Make sure your mulch, if you've mulched them after planting, isn't uptight against the stems. If they've been in the ground, say earlier this winter, December, January, you might be ready now. Make sure that you have at least cut way back on the water now, but put a slow release fertilizer down that's going to feed them throughout the whole season. There's some of them, if it's not a whole lot of area, that the dynamite will feed the whole summer long, so you only have to do it once. There's other ones that'll feed for an extended time that you might need to feed again in the fall.
We will take a little break. We have a half hour left of the show, so plenty of time for you to get your questions in. If you want to call Carol Ann, the number is 622-9622. We'll be right back with In the Garden with Carol Ann after this commercial break.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Terror attacks in Brussels being felt across Europe and beyond. French President François Hollande.
Terrorists have hit Belgium. But it is Europe who has been divided. And it's everyone who has been concerned.
Dozens killed in the attacks in the subway system and the international airport in Belgium. In the U.S., top military officials have been briefed on the attack.
The Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson has been briefed by his operations center. The Attorney General Loretta Lynch has also been briefed, and they are coordinating with their counterparts overseas. This is standard practice.
Fox's Catherine Herridge says the priority is identifying the attackers, and voters choosing their Republican presidential candidate in Arizona, Utah, and American Samoa today for Democrats. It's Arizona, Utah, and Idaho. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Napa know-how.
platinum is a word reserved for premium products, hence why you've never seen platinum corn dogs or platinum toothpicks. So you know Pennzoil Platinum is the good stuff. And now Napa's got Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic Oil for just $5.29 a quart. Plus, buy 12 quarts and get $2 per quart back by mail. For just $5.29 a quart, you'll get premium oil for a corn dog price. That's Napa know-how. General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer expires 3/31/16.
Any Jane Doe can tell you that Geico could help you save. But since money talks, we just ask the savings instead.
Greetings and sun salutations. I'm Jane's Money, and I never knew my self-worth until Jane switched her car insurance at Geico.com. Those 15 minutes built me up to real savings. Geico's been helping customers save money like me for over 75 years. So take that to the bank. And namaste.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Are you still fertilizing flowers and vegetables the old-fashioned way?
Then switch to Dynamite Premium Plant Food. The secret to more flowers, bigger blooms, and more vegetables is consistent feeding. Dynamite Premium Plant Food is formulated for our Florida climate and has a unique coating that releases nutrition consistently, so there are no peaks and no valleys. Dynamite is just a terrific product. It even contains the micronutrients plants need in small quantities for maximum growth. With Dynamite, you get an explosion of color, flowers, and vegetables. Dynamite comes in a handy shake and feed plastic bottle. Just one application will last up to 6 months. For more flowers, bigger blooms, and more vegetables, try Dynamite Premium Plant Food today. Look for Dynamite at your Home Depot or Lowe's Garden Department. Visit on the web at dynamiteplantfood.com.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Dog owners tend to walk and use local parks more often, which means they have more opportunities to actually meet new humans. Let's say you forget to sign your restaurant check. They'll still charge your credit because just the act of giving somebody your card means you have agreed to pay. If she thinks you don't have anything planned for her birthday, it'll take a mind-blowing surprise to offset the disappointment that's been building inside her.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Plans for lunch Sunday?
Moms and dads, have a quality time lunch date with your little ones.
Honey Baked Ham and Cafe is going to help.
Each Sunday through Mother's Day, bring your child under 10 to Honey Baked Ham at 2709 Southwest 27th Avenue in Ocala between Best Buy and Regal Cinema.
Your child's meal is free with paying adults. Eat it only.
Honey Baked Ham and Cafe serves only the highest quality food and provides a clean, quiet environment so you can enjoy your time together.
For more information, call 861-0011.
Hey Ocala, this is Kelly Hart, Executive Editor of Ocala Magazine. Did you know last year Ocala Magazine won more awards in excellence than any other publication in Florida? And this year, Ocala Magazine was named Best Consumer Magazine in the state. Now you can join me every Friday at 10 a.m. on Ocala Magazine Radio, where we bring the pages of Ocala Magazine to life, right here on The Source. Ocala Magazine thanks you for making us #1. And remember, there is only one Ocala Magazine.
All right, 25 minutes before 10 o'clock, and let me tell you what the temperature is before we get back to Carol Ann. It is 38 degrees. 30.
Still.
It's just remarkable to me.
Yeah, I'm just surprised it's still that cold out.
38 degrees on 22nd of March in Florida.
Right, and we had been, 80 degrees for the 2 weeks or so before that. Yeah. I think we were all getting accustomed to that. I know I was. That's why I said it was.
New York City right now. 37.
So we're just about
Can you
as
believe
cold
that?
as they are.
That's not crazy.
That is crazy. Now mine says it's 46.
So maybe mine is wrong.
It has not updated, maybe.
It's unusual.
Make them update.
Yeah, I think it's wrong. Has to be wrong, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The sun's been up for 2. It's 46 going to 75 by the Weather Channel. But it's been chilly. All those things, we always do calendars of things to do, things to remember. Marion County, the Master Gardeners spring plant sale. Not the garden show, but this is their spring plant sale. We do a spring one and a fall one, and the spring one is coming up Saturday, May the 7th from 8 to noon. And these are plants that have either been purchased as small plants that have been grown out by the master gardeners, or they're ones that where the cuttings and things like that, or the seeds came from master gardeners' landscapes themselves at home. So sometimes you get some unique plants, but they do have, a few years ago, they started in with fruit trees, ornamental trees, shade trees, and larger, and shrubs. That are, they are brought in but then nurtured, grown up a bit, and sold reasonably priced. All the proceeds are going back towards the master gardeners to be able to put programs on for the public. But there's also native plants, herbs and perennials, pollinator plants, butterfly plants, hummingbird plants, which actually, if you take those last three and put them together, they all are similar plants. They're going to all attract. Sorrel, which the sorrel is it's a hibiscus variety that you can actually take the calyx of the plant and steep it and make a tea in which you can either adulterate it by adding some wine or some rum to it.
That would adulterate it, yes.
That would adulterate it. Or you can make it as a tea, sweeten it with a little honey, add some ginger into it. Real nice thing that you can do out of your garden. But also available there will be the rain barrels, the Melaleuca mulch, micro irrigation, the garden publications, all the different stuff that we do on a usual basis at all of our events. And so, South Oaks 4-H will again be the toting service, the Rent-A-Kid. Really a bunch of good kids. If anybody was at the Master Gardener Spring Festival back earlier this month, saw these kids work. And these kids, they work for tips, and some of them had on the sides of their wagons looking to raise how much they were trying to raise because they were either a project they wanted to do or 4-H camp or a 4-H trip or something like that, because you figure some of these kids are raising hogs or raising steer and things like that. It costs them money to feed them.
Right.
And they're underage of getting true employment because there are a lot of, they're under the age of 16. And so this is how they make some money to help support those projects. And these are our good kids, that'll grow up to be our leaders tomorrow. So it's always good to support our 4-H.
Yeah.
But that is, again, Saturday, May the 7th from 8 to noon. Cash or check only. No pets, please. Free admission. No pets. We don't want anybody's pet to get stepped on, tripped over, anything like that.
By the way.
Yeah.
I walked through the garden section of Walmart the other day, and I thought of you because I saw a whole load of gnomes.
Oh, gnomes are scary.
Garden gnomes.
Garden gnomes.
All different,
all the different shapes and sizes.
Different positions, doing different tasks.
Right, and different weapons in their hands. They have their shovels and their axes.
Yeah, I was going to say, they weren't weapons. They were gardening tools.
Yeah, but they're weapons. If you recall how to survive a garden gnome attack, it was, that's weaponry. And when I finally build my fairy garden, there will not be a gnome in it.
You're not going to have any gnomes?
No, it can have a fairy in it. I like the fairies or wood nymphs, but no gnomes.
Gnomes start with a G.
Yeah.
So G-N-O-M-E. That's a gnome.
Yeah. That's a gnome, just like a gnat. They're both pasts.
Both have a G. Do you know what else I noticed? This is something, and I've noticed this since I was a kid. You could blindfold me, and I'm sure this is true for anybody, and take me into a big box store, and I would know immediately if I was in the gardening section. Not because of the sound.
But because the smell.
Yeah, the smell.
Oh, yeah.
Especially this time of year.
Right. You've got the flower scents, but you also do have the fertilizers and the
That's
soils.
What I think
and
I smell. Yeah.
You walk in and it never fails that there's always a bag of organic fertilizer broke somewhere, and you go, where's the dirty diaper?
Oh, see, I don't think that at all. It's a good smell.
Some of them are, but I mean, I like the earthy smell. You get near the broken bags of soil and
That's
things like that.
That's, I think, what I'm smelling. Yeah.
But never seem to fail. We've gone around going,
God,
where is that coming from? And you look at, that's the stinky one. Get the bag and sort of put that one away.
Well, it's like if you go into the TV section, you see all these TVs. You say, gosh, I want to buy a TV.
Yeah.
If you go into the music section and if they're playing music, they don't do that anymore like when we were kids.
Right.
But you would say, oh my gosh, I love that song. Let me buy that.
Right. Yeah. Can I get that? Yeah. Well, now it's CD or,
Yeah. They don't do it anymore. They don't play it anymore. But
wow.
But if you go into the gardening section, you smell that dirt and whatever. It's like,
right.
Man, I'm going to start gardening.
Well, that's like if you start in on the other side where the deli is, you walk in and you go, fried food.
Oh, yeah.
What do I need? Chicken?
Right.
Do I need some fried chicken?
Or the
before I
bakery.
leave?
Oh, man. Stand outside Publix like 5 o'clock in the morning when they're not even open yet, but they're baking.
Yes.
Oh, man.
But no, the Garden Center is a fun place. It is one of those things that, it does have its own aroma as well. And I have this time of year, my favorite is I'll go walking past and not even paying attention, and I'm walking past the citrus trees, because citrus blossom is my favorite fragrance, right up there.
That
with
is
gardenia,
a pretty fragrance.
Gardenia
yeah.
and jasmine, that I will actually, I'll stop in my tracks, turn around, there it is, and I'll go stick my nose in the orange blossoms and hope there's no bee in there going to sting me on the nose.
And it would always remind me of Florida, even though there are other places in the world oranges grow. I think for me, it would always be
because it's a familiar,
Florida.
It's a familiar thing. I think I would be right if I went to Texas or Arizona, California, where they also grow citrus, and I smell that, I would probably be reminded
right back.
of home.
You'd be homesick.
I would be reminded of home. But that's it's just one of those wonderful, wonderful fragrances, and I'm so glad I get to.
Yesterday was National Fragrance Day, by the way.
And I was sniffing oranges.
Do you remember? I don't know. Maybe they still do, but in like the tourist type of stops, like Stuckey's and Horns. Remember that?
Uh-huh.
They used to sell orange. What do you call it? Orange blossom honey,
right?
Which they still
do. And the
do.
little pecan logs and
but they also sold orange blossom perfume. Do you remember that?
I don't, because I've never been able to find one that actually smells like the flower.
It didn't.
They smell like citrus rind or orange juice.
It didn't smell like that, because I remember thinking I'll buy it just so I could take it back to New York and have that smell.
Enjoy the.
But it wasn't the same smell.
No, it's not.
No.
It smells like That's I always wish I could find one that truly smelled it.
Huh.
But can't do it yet. We were talking off the air, and I want to. Give everybody an opportunity. I've been trying to get this person is going to be on the air next week for me, because I have another dental appointment. Well, you do those kind of things. I have a substitute coming in. Finally getting him to come on the air. Got him far enough in advance he could put it on his calendar. It's Jack LaCroix. He is our newest, though he's been here in Marion County a year now, as the Florida Friendly Landscaping, I think we changed the name of that, extension director for the Florida Friendly Landscaping program. And Jack LaCroix's a nice guy who's agreed to come in. I said, you need to be.
Has he ever done a radio show before?
I don't know. But he seemed comfortable with the idea of it.
Do you remember the first time you did the radio show? Was it nerve-wracking?
It was a little nervous. It was something I'd never done, but I just put it in my mind that I'm talking to you and I'm talking to whomever is calling.
Right.
So it's not whoever else is out there. And then with the big picture window in both the Cascade studios and this one, it's just you wave at people when they go by.
Well, did you tell him I have some astounding questions?
Well, I told him to come through with about 4 little topics that he might want to be able to hit on, because we can't always get our listeners to call at times. I don't know where you all are at, except that you're sitting out in your garden listening.
Speaking of listeners calling, instead of looking for a trivia question, why don't you call right now? If you're the first one that rings through, I'll give you a $20 gift certificate to Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery.
There you go.
Every week I keep forgetting to give it away. So before I forget, let me do it right now rather than waiting to the end of the show.
There we go. Right.
I'll take your call during the break. If I don't answer your call, it means I've got a winner. So the number is 622-9622, $20 to Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Mostly sunny today with a warmer afternoon, a high of 70 to 75. Clear tonight, a low 46 to 58, and tomorrow looks gorgeous, bright and sunny with a high of 77 to 81. Shower thunderstorm in the area Thursday. Most of the days partly sunny and nice, high of 82 to 86. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Black Cow composted cow manure is a terrific organic soil amendment. We start with cow manure from dairy farms and then compost it a full 90 days. The result is an all-natural, dark, rich soil amendment that's great for everything you grow. Flowers, vegetables, shrubs, trees, and lawns too. Look for Black Cow in the bright yellow and black bag at your favorite nursery or garden center.
Black Cow, the mature manure. Black Cow.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Cookies, 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 cookies. We go cookie eating cookies.
When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. King Cookie in the Paddock Mall in Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. So next time you're in the mall, stop by King Cookie or call 352-237-2557. KingCookieOcala.com. Customized cookies, cakes, and more. King Cookie.
Eating cookies. We're so happy eating cookies. Cookies!
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
We are The Source, WOCA.
All right, 12 minutes before 10 o'clock. I'm not even going to tell you the temperature because I think this thing is wrong here.
Yeah.
Let me see what it's saying, though. I'm going to refresh it.
Refresh it, because mine said 43.
I'll take it for it. This doesn't seem right. This still says 38. There's no way.
That's not right. There's
no way.
And one thing being, we just got this last segment here left. I'll mention two different things. One is I did start and sort of an extension to the radio show on Facebook. So any of the listeners who are on social media can go onto Facebook. Did you have to go onto groups to find it, or just Facebook.com?
I just put In the Garden in the search engine for Facebook.
Okay.
And it was the first thing that came up.
And that's what you're going to look for is In the Garden. It is a closed group. You do have to ask to join, and I'm trying to prevent. You get too many people in some of the groups that try to advertise their private businesses or that have nothing to do with what you're doing, but they get in. Oh yeah, I want to be part of it, and then the next thing you know, people are it's spamming the group page. So just ask if you're garden related. I'll approve you as a listener, and it's just sort of an extension.
I just joined.
Larry just joined, and it's just an extension sort of the show that if I spot something during the week, I may not remember it. I'll take a picture. If I got a picture of something that I saw,
let me take
and put it on there
of you,
of me
doing the show, right now, and then you can. I don't know how.
You can send it to me, and I can make it the new cover.
Well, I don't want me to make a cover. I mean, just
put it on there.
All right,
that would work.
Take a picture. I'm going to do it with my Instagram, and then I think it goes directly to my Facebook, right? I think how that works.
I'm not sure how that works, but also because Easter is this Sunday, I thought I'd mention some stuff on the Easter lilies, the other Asiatic lilies, and things like that you're finding in all the garden centers. Doesn't matter which one, or even if you're in the grocery store, you're finding them, or if you receive one as a gift. The Easter lilies, the Asiatic lilies, and things like that are great. The best way to buy them is with closed buds. That way you've got a longer period of bloom because they do only bloom one time during each year. But don't throw it away when you're done with it. You can plant it in the garden. But when you get one home, or you get it as a gift, or you giving it as a gift, unwrap it. You don't want to keep that soil too wet, just, lightly moist with any plant. Put it in a bright window that doesn't really have that direct sun coming through, not while you've got your blooms. You're trying to keep those from opening too quickly for you. Maybe with Easter, if you want more open, get it some more sun. And then once they're finished, they're just when the flowers or before the flowers are done, if you want the flowers to stay longer, let me remember that part. You want your flowers to stay longer. Once that flower opens, is reach in there and snip out those anthers out of the center so that they don't drop pollen all over those flowers, and then because it makes the flowers look a little dirty once it does that. And then you'll have the pretty flowers. You're not trying to attract any pollinators to your kitchen table, so it's not necessary to have those there. Once they've bloomed, you can either leave those in that container, you can put them in the garden, put them in a nice sunny spot. Continue to take care of the plant, though it's just going to be a green plant for a while. When the top of that dies off, I just kind of ignore them, but they won't be back up this time of year, usually. They come up again normally about May or June. They are not those Asiatic lilies that you're finding in the stores now with all the cool colors on the flowers. They do come back, but not in March.
I think I got you with your eyes closed. Oh man! But you look good. You got a good, nice looking shirt.
I got a good shirt on. But so if you get some of those for Easter, you're giving them for Easter, just buy them for yourself for Easter. Don't throw them away at the end of the season. Put them in the ground or leave them in a pot or put them in a bigger pot. Enjoy them next year, and they will come back up. Now, tulips, unless you want to go through some serious work on those, enjoy them while they're blooming and just toss them out or give them to a friend who's up north. Because they're not going to keep coming back and blooming for you. We don't have the winter dormancy for those. Hyacinths, I think, are something that most people keep inside because, again, we don't want them to escape. I don't know if they actually would around here. They're not the water hyacinth, but they're ones most people I think are keeping inside and enjoying the fragrance from those, and either enjoy it as a gift and get rid of it or give it a shot to see if it'll come back for you. But the Easter lilies will come back.
So I got your photograph.
You got my photograph.
And I'm tagging you now so that you can put it on the new site you have.
Oh, okay.
And I would encourage everybody. That's a cool site you've got going right there.
It's something, and it does have room to contribute to it. I mean, it's not just me posting things. So somebody's got to. And if you've got a garden question on that, say you come up with something and the show's not on. Throw it out there. We all learn from things.
It makes this show a 24/7
right, access. Yeah, except I do sleep. But no, you have access to the ability to ask a question when we're not on the air, or post some successes. If you've got a picture, you got a really cool plant, you don't know what it is, I'll try my best to identify it. I don't know all the plants, but I'll take a look on
I
stuff.
have a question for you.
Oh, okay.
What is it in Amish noodle salad that tastes so good? What is that? I know it's got nothing to do with plants, but
I'm not sure. I saw your post on that. I've not had Amish noodle salad, so it could be that they use salad dressing, because if you look at the potato salads in the store, the difference is I think the Amish one uses a salad dressing type, and not versus a mayonnaise.
Okay.
So it might be your salad dressing is what you're picking up on.
Do the Amish people know that that's what they use?
I don't know. They make their own, I'm sure.
Okay, so now you're on the WOCI site. You're on my site, and I'm so sorry I got you with your eyes closed, but that looks like you're maybe saying a mantra or something.
I was. I was speaking through the whole time. Let's see, what else do we have there? And I did post a picture to that site with showing the squash are coming on. So hopefully everybody's got their squash going. On. Yeah, my squash are starting there. So I'm now looking forward to the size of those in that picture, maybe the size of my little finger right now. And there was one or two on the one plant. And I saw another one or two on a couple other plants. So in another
If I took you to the vegetable section,
I could probably have me some nice little squash.
If I took you to the vegetable section of the grocery store, what percentage do you think of those vegetables have you not eaten?
have I not
Yeah,
eaten?
I bet you I have not eaten 90% of the things in the vegetable section.
I mean, of the different varieties, yeah, you're right. I mean,
Because I'm basically lettuce, tomatoes, onions.
But your potatoes, green beans, squash.
Okay. Yeah, well, not squash so much, but I've had it, but I don't usually buy it.
Oh, okay.
So potatoes, I forgot about potatoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Potatoes.
Your staples are your onions and potatoes, celery,
There's so
carrots.
many of those ugly root-looking things that
I don't do turnips and rutabagas and.
But there's a lot of ugly root-looking things. And
those are usually out of your Latin flavors. There's the malanga and. What are some of the other ones? They're all
Since it's a market-driven entity,
right?
It means other people do buy them.
They do buy them. If you notice, though, on some of those too, that they are long-lasting. They're generally a starchy type item, but they're also dipped in wax. Those are obviously waxed, and it helps to keep them fresh, and that they will store for an extended time. The other items that have a light wax, like apples and peppers and cucumbers and things like that. That's a very fine wax. And again, that does to help to keep them from drying out. And so, when you get those, you get them home. A lot of people like to use the vinegar wash before they have them to help get some of that off and any other residuals, plus anybody else's fingerprints off of them. I guess that's my biggest thing. I want to wash off your germs more than anything
More than anything else, exactly.
But don't wash your produce before you use it. Don't wash it. Don't wash it. I mean, don't wash it when you're just going to bring it home and throw it in the fridge. Wash it right before you use it. I guess that's the way I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Don't wash it and then set it in the fridge, because you're going to speed up the rotting process. Actually. So if you buy 3 bell peppers when they're on sale, but you're going to use one today. Wash that one, use it, and then when you're ready to use the next one, wash it. Same way with your cucumbers. Say you find cucumbers that are 3 for $1. You're only going to use one in that salad today. Wash that one and use it. Don't wash, because that wax is protecting those from drying and helps to keep them fresh longer in your refrigerator, because it's kind of hard to actually put a true, you're not going to put a true preservative on produce, but that fine, thin wax does sort of keep them from drying out.
So you have any Easter plans?
Actually, no, and I'm not even sure what I'm making. I have a turkey. If I'm going to have the turkey, I got to get it out of the freezer. Probably tonight, or it looks like there's some nice hams on sale at the market too. So I gotta call the hubby and message the daughter.
What do you feel like having? How's he doing, by the way?
He's doing very well.
Oh, good. I know you had a scare last year.
Yeah, we had him in and out a couple of times in the hospital, but it was all. He never felt bad during any of it except for the recovery period was what was hurt. So we were lucky on most with all of that, really, even though they could have been very serious.
Lots
issues
to be thankful
going on.
for. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. Always nice to start a new year. Everybody's being pretty healthy, trying to ward off the.
Come in here and do the show with you one day.
Oh,
he wouldn't want to do the show.
No, he wouldn't want to do the show.
Why not?
No, he's a little more bashful.
By the way, there's another radio guy who likes your picture, Wolf Bowers. Do you know Wolf Bowers?
Oh, it's
name that rings a bell.
Yeah, from another show, from a different radio
station. Yeah. So
totally different radio station.
He's liking your
the picture. Well, good.
We're up to that point where Stanley Spencer sings again.
That's it. Another Tuesday in the can, as they say.
In the can. You did that like Thurston Howell III. In the can.
In the can.
As they say.
Yeah, there we go. But no,
Lovey.
Plant sale in May. New Facebook group page in the garden, an extension of the show. So check it out if you would. Just ask to be a member if you'd like to be. And we're out.
This is WOCA Ocala. Thank you, Caroline.
Thanks.
As a Fox News alert, I'm Lillian Wu. Terror attacks in Belgium, killing at least 11 at the international airport and in the Brussels subway system, where the mayor says at least